In a significant political U-turn, former President Donald Trump has made his position on Social Security crystal clear. He has publicly and repeatedly stated that he will not pursue any cuts to Social Security checks or the benefits that millions of Americans depend on for their financial survival. This marks a clear break from earlier discussions within some political circles about potentially raising the retirement age or trimming payments to address long-term funding challenges. Instead, the focus has shifted entirely towards a promise to always protect these essential programs, ensuring that current and future retirees receive the full benefits they have earned over their working lives. This commitment sets the stage for a new chapter in the ongoing conversation about America's most important social safety net. This decisive stance is not just a matter of words, it has been backed by a rejection of specific proposals aimed at reducing the program's scope. For instance, suggestions from groups like the Republican Study Committee to increase the full retirement age have been explicitly dismissed by the former president. The message being sent to the American public is one of reassurance and stability. For the tens of millions of seniors who rely on their monthly Social Security payments to cover basic living expenses like housing, food, and healthcare, this declaration provides a sense of relief amidst economic uncertainty. The new approach prioritizes safeguarding benefits over implementing austerity measures, a policy direction that will have wide-ranging implications for everyone. This pivot away from cuts is particularly important given the context of today's economy and the demographic shifts our country is experiencing. With the largest wave of baby boomers in history now reaching retirement age, the number of people relying on Social Security is greater than ever before. The administration's pledge is to find savings not by reducing what is paid out to deserving citizens, but by rooting out inefficiency within the system itself. The strategy is to tackle fraud, waste, and abuse, with the belief that substantial savings can be achieved without penalizing honest, hard-working Americans. This approach frames the solution as a matter of better governance rather than reduced entitlements for the people. Ultimately, this new direction has reshaped the national dialogue about Social Security. The conversation is no longer dominated by fears of impending cuts or debates over who should sacrifice. Instead, it has moved towards how to best preserve and strengthen the program for generations to come. This includes not only protecting current benefit levels but also exploring ways to enhance the financial security of older Americans through new legislation and administrative actions. The promise to protect Social Security is a powerful one, and it is a central theme that will influence policy decisions, tax discussions, and the financial planning of every American family looking toward the future. At its core, Social Security is a promise made between generations of Americans. It is a federal program designed to provide a foundational level of financial protection for working people and their families. When you work and pay your taxes, a portion of that money goes into the Social Security system. In return for these contributions, you earn credits that entitle you to receive monthly benefits when you retire. But it's much more than just a retirement plan. Social Security also provides critical income to individuals who become disabled and can no longer work, as well as to surviving spouses and children of workers who have passed away. It is a comprehensive social insurance program that supports millions. The importance of this program for today's seniors cannot be overstated. For a large number of retirees, Social Security is their primary source of income. It is the money they count on to pay for their mortgage, put food on the table, and afford essential prescription medications. Without these monthly payments, a significant portion of our elderly population would fall into poverty. The benefits are calculated based on your lifetime earnings, meaning that those who have contributed to the system throughout their careers get a return on that investment. This creates a stable and predictable income stream that helps protect older Americans from the financial shocks that can come with aging, such as unexpected medical bills or the rising cost of living. However, Social Security isn't just for those who are already retired. It is equally vital for today's workers, who are actively paying into the system. Every paycheck with a Social Security deduction is an investment in your own future financial security and the well-being of your family. It provides a safety net not just for your retirement years but also for the unexpected turns life can take. If a young worker with a family were to become seriously disabled and unable to work, disability benefits could provide the income needed to support their spouse and children. This insurance aspect of the program is a crucial form of protection that supports families through their most difficult times. In essence, Social Security is a pillar of American society that provides stability and dignity to millions. It is the bedrock upon which many people build their retirement plans, offering a guaranteed source of income that is adjusted each year to help keep pace with inflation. This reliability is what makes it so different from private savings or investment accounts, which can be subject to market fluctuations. By understanding that Social Security is a multifaceted insurance program benefiting retirees, people with disabilities, and surviving family members, we can better appreciate why protecting and strengthening it is a national priority for people of all ages and from all walks of life. In a landmark move that runs counter to any narrative of cutting benefits, Congress passed the Social Security Fairness Act of 2024 with overwhelming bipartisan support. This legislation represents the most significant expansion of the Social Security program in the last 25 years. Its primary goal is to correct long-standing issues that have unfairly reduced the benefits of millions of public service workers. The new law is set to increase monthly payments for approximately 3 million people, many of whom have dedicated their careers to serving our communities as teachers, firefighters, police officers, and other state and local government employees. This is a direct boost to the financial security of a group of retirees who were previously penalized by outdated regulations. The Act specifically addresses two provisions that have long been controversial: media group, close-up of legislative documents, government paperwork on desk, hands holding law text stock distribute equally, the windfall elimination provision, and the government pension offset. These rules were originally intended to prevent individuals from double-dipping by receiving both a government pension and full Social Security benefits. However, in practice, they often resulted in drastic and unfair reductions in the earned Social Security benefits of many public servants. The Social Security Fairness Act repeals these provisions, ensuring that these workers will now receive the full benefits they are entitled to based on their entire work history, including any jobs they held in the private sector where they paid into the Social Security system. The financial impact of this expansion is substantial. The law is projected to cost around $200 billion over the next decade, a testament to the scale of the benefit increase it provides. For many affected retirees, this could mean an increase of several $100s in their monthly checks, a life-changing amount of money that can help cover rising costs for healthcare and daily necessities. The passage of this act signals a strong political will to not only protect, but also enhance Social Security benefits for those who have been treated unfairly by the system. It is a clear demonstration that the current focus is on strengthening the program's promise, not weakening it. While the expansion has been celebrated as a major victory for public employees, it has also raised important questions about the long-term health of the Social Security Trust Fund. The additional spending required to fund these increased benefits will draw down the program's reserves more quickly than previously projected. This has intensified the debate about how to ensure the solvency of Social Security for future generations. Nevertheless, the overwhelming support for the Social Security Fairness Act shows a clear consensus that correcting inequities for current retirees is a top priority, even if it means confronting the tougher questions about long-term funding sooner rather than later. Alongside the efforts to protect and expand benefits, there is a growing movement to reduce the tax burden on seniors, allowing them to keep more of their Social Security income. One of the most prominent proposals is the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which received backing from former President Trump and passed the House of Representatives in May 2025. This bill is designed to provide targeted tax relief specifically for older Americans. It proposes a temporary increase in the standard deduction by up to $4,000 for individuals who are age 65 and over. This would directly lower the taxable income for millions of seniors, resulting in a smaller tax bill at the end of the year. This proposed tax cut is designed with certain income limits to ensure it benefits middle and lower income retirees the most. The full $4,000 additional deduction would be available to those with incomes up to $75,000, phasing out for those who earn more. The relief is scheduled to be in effect from 2025 through 2028. While proponents argue that this is a necessary measure to help seniors cope with inflation and rising living costs, some critics view it as a short-term fix that does not address the broader, long-term financial challenges facing retirees. Nonetheless, it represents a concrete step toward easing the financial pressures on a significant portion of the senior population by letting them hold on to more of their hard-earned money. An even more ambitious proposal is the No Tax on Social Security bill, which was introduced in the House in January 2025. As its name suggests, this legislation aims to completely eliminate all federal income taxes on Social Security benefits. Currently, depending on their total income, retirees may have to pay federal taxes on up to 85% of their Social Security benefits on an annual basis. For a retiree receiving the average Social Security benefit, this could translate into a tax savings of several $100s a year. For those with higher benefits, the savings could be as much as $5,000 annually, a significant boost to their disposable income. However, the complete elimination of taxes on benefits comes with a hefty price tag for the government. The Congressional Budget Office has projected that this bill would lead to a revenue loss of approximately $1.6 trillion between 2026 and 2035. This massive reduction in tax revenue would put additional strain on the Social Security Trust Fund, potentially accelerating the date when it can no longer pay out full benefits. This creates a difficult trade-off for lawmakers, providing immediate and substantial tax relief to current seniors versus preserving the long-term financial stability of the program for everyone. The debate over these tax proposals highlights the ongoing tension between short-term relief and long-term solvency. A central part of the strategy to protect Social Security without cutting benefits is, well, a renewed and aggressive focus on eliminating fraud, waste, and improper payments within the system. The administration's position is that before any discussion of benefit reductions can even be considered, the government must first ensure that every dollar contributed by taxpayers is being spent correctly and efficiently. This so-called war on waste is being championed as a common-sense approach to strengthen the program's finances. The scale of the problem is significant. A report from the Social Security Administration's Inspector General identified an estimated $72 billion in improper payments made between 2015 and 2022, highlighting the potential for substantial savings. To lead this charge, former President Trump established a new executive body known as the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. This department has been tasked with a broad mandate to scrutinize federal spending across all entitlement programs, with a particular focus on Social Security and Medicare. The high-profile appointment to lead this new department is Elon Musk, a figure known for his focus on efficiency and disruption in the private sector. The creation of DOGE signals a serious commitment to overhauling government operations and using modern data analytics and management techniques to identify and eliminate sources of financial leakage. The goal is to make the government work smarter, not to reduce the support it provides to its citizens. The administration has also taken steps to ensure strong leadership at the Social Security Administration itself. Frank Bisignano, the former CEO of the financial technology company Fiserv, was nominated as the permanent Social Security Commissioner. In his public statements, Bisignano has affirmed his commitment to the mission of protecting and strengthening the program for all Americans. His background in technology and large-scale payment systems is seen as a major asset in the effort to modernize the SSA's operations. The expectation is that he will bring a private sector mindset to improving customer service, upgrading outdated technology, and most importantly, implementing more robust systems to prevent fraud and recover improper payments before they leave the door. These anti-fraud initiatives are not just about recovering money, they are about restoring public trust in the system. When taxpayers see that the government is being a responsible steward of their contributions, their confidence in the long-term viability of Social Security is bolstered. By focusing on administrative efficiency and accountability, the government aims to prove that the program can be made financially stronger without resorting to painful cuts that would harm vulnerable retirees. This approach reframes the solvency issue as a management challenge that can be solved through better oversight and innovation, rather than an intractable crisis that requires sacrifices from beneficiaries. The year 2025 has brought, well, a perfect storm of factors leading to a significant surge in both the number of people claiming Social Security benefits and the total amount of money being paid out. Official data shows a remarkable 15% increase in retirement claims this year compared to 2024. A major driver of this trend is simple demographics. The year 2024 marked the beginning of what demographers call the peak 65 zone, the period when the largest wave of baby boomers in American history will turn 65, the traditional age for retirement. This massive demographic shift means that more people are becoming eligible for Social Security retirement benefits than ever before, placing, unprecedented demand on the system. This demographic wave has been compounded by a climate of public anxiety about the future of the program, confusing and sometimes contradictory messaging from political figures, combined with high-profile comments from public figures like Elon Musk and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, has fueled fears that benefits could be cut in the near future. This uncertainty has prompted many people to file for their benefits earlier than they might have otherwise planned. The thinking here is that it is better to start receiving payments now, even if they are at a reduced rate for claiming early, than to risk potential cuts down the road. This rush to claim has contributed directly to the spike in new applicants and overall payouts. The recent passage of the Social Security Fairness Act has also played a significant role in the rising payouts. As the law went into effect, it not only increased the regular monthly benefits for millions of public sector retirees, but also resulted in large one-time lump sum back payments to many of them. These retroactive payments, meant to compensate for years of underpayment, caused a noticeable spike in national income figures in the spring of 2025. While this was a welcome financial boost for those individuals, it also represented a substantial and immediate new expense for the Social Security system, further contributing to the record level of benefits being distributed. Finally, we cannot forget the annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA. In 2025, Social Security and Supplemental Security income payments increased by 2.5%. While this may seem like a modest percentage, it affects over 72.5 million Americans and adds billions of dollars in annual expenditures for the program. The COLA for this year resulted in an average monthly increase of about $50 per recipient. When you combine this automatic increase with the surge in new retirees and the impact of new legislation, it becomes clear why the system is currently experiencing a record outflow of funds, putting the long-term financial picture into sharper focus. Despite the current political focus on protecting and even expanding benefits, a huge challenge looms on the horizon: the long-term financial stability of the Social Security trust funds. These are the special accounts where all the money collected from payroll taxes is held and then used to pay out benefits. For decades, the system collected more money than it paid out, building up a large surplus. However, as more baby boomers retire and fewer workers are paying into the system per retiree, that dynamic has reversed. The program is now paying out more in benefits each year than it collects in taxes, and it has begun drawing down on its savings to make up the difference. The official projections from the government's own experts paint a sobering picture of the future. The May 2024 Social Security Trustees Report projected that, if Congress does nothing to change the system, the combined trust funds for retirement and disability benefits will be unable to pay out 100% of promised benefits by the year 2035. The Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, offers an even more urgent timeline, projecting that this point of insolvency could be reached as early as 2033. It is crucial to understand that insolvency does not mean the program will have no money. It will still be collecting payroll taxes from current workers. What insolvency does mean is that the trust fund's reserves will be completely depleted, and the program will only be able to pay out what it takes in from ongoing tax revenues. According to the CBO's projections at that point, Social Security would only be able to pay about 79% of the full benefits that have been promised to retirees. This would translate into an automatic, across-the-board benefit cut of more than 20% for every single person receiving Social Security. Such a sudden and deep cut would be catastrophic for the millions of seniors who rely on that income to survive, potentially pushing many into poverty overnight. This is the fundamental challenge that lawmakers must eventually confront. While current policies are focused on protecting benefits and providing tax relief, these actions, particularly the expansion of benefits and potential tax cuts, could hasten the date when the trust fund runs out of money. Postponing action only makes the problem more difficult and expensive to solve. Eventually, Congress will have to make tough choices. The solutions generally involve some combination of increasing revenues, such as by raising the payroll tax rate, or reducing long-term costs, such as by gradually raising the full retirement age for younger workers or changing the formula used to calculate benefits. The current political climate has put these options on the back burner, but the financial reality of the trust fund remains. All of these developments, the promise to protect benefits, the expansion for public workers, proposed tax cuts, and the long-term funding concerns, have real-world implications for how you should approach your own financial planning. First and foremost, the current political environment provides a degree of short-term certainty. For those who are already retired or are on the cusp of retiring, the strong commitment to not cut benefits means you can likely count on receiving your promised payments for the foreseeable future. This stability allows you to build your household budget with confidence, knowing that this foundational piece of your retirement income is secure for now. The proposed tax changes, if they become law, could also directly impact your bottom line. A higher standard deduction or the complete elimination of federal taxes on Social Security benefits would mean more cash in your pocket each month. This could free up money for other essential expenses, allow you to save more, or simply improve your quality of life. As you plan your finances, it is wise to stay informed about the progress of these bills. While you should not count on this extra money until it is officially law, understanding the potential impact can help you make smarter decisions about your spending and saving strategy in the coming years. However, for younger workers who are still decades away from retirement, the situation requires a more cautious approach. While today's leaders have promised to protect benefits, the long-term solvency issue of the trust fund is a mathematical reality that cannot be ignored forever. Future Congresses will be forced to act to prevent the automatic 20% or more cut that would occur if the trust fund is depleted. This means it is prudent to plan for a future where Social Security benefits might be less generous than they are today. This could mean a higher retirement age or a benefit formula that results in a smaller check. Building your own robust retirement savings through a 401k, IRA, or other accounts is more important than ever. The key takeaway for everyone is to be proactive and informed. Do not rely solely on Social Security for your retirement. Use it as the foundation it was designed to be, but build upon it with your own savings and investments. Pay close attention to the ongoing political debates, as changes to the system are inevitable. Understanding the proposals will help you anticipate how your own financial future might be affected. By taking control of your personal finances and planning for a range of possible outcomes, you can ensure that you are prepared for retirement, regardless of the final form that Social Security reform takes. As we look ahead, the landscape of Social Security is defined by a mix of reassuring promises and undeniable long-term challenges. For now, the political winds have shifted firmly in favor of protecting and even expanding benefits for today's retirees. The clear message from the Trump administration is that there will be no cuts to your Social Security checks. This provides a welcome sense of stability for millions of Americans who are currently receiving or are about to claim their benefits. The focus on fighting fraud and waste through new initiatives like the Department of Government Efficiency is an attempt to shore up the system's finances without asking beneficiaries to make sacrifices. In the immediate future, all eyes should be on Congress and the progress of the proposed tax legislation. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act and the No Tax on Social Security bill could provide significant financial relief to seniors if passed into law. Watching how these bills navigate the legislative process will give you a clear idea of whether you can expect a lower tax bill in the coming years. At the same time, it will be important to monitor the work of the new Social Security Commissioner and DOJ to see if their efforts to root out inefficiency and improper payments yield tangible savings for the program. Despite the short-term calm, you must not lose sight of the long-term solvency issue. The 2035 deadline for the trust fund's depletion remains a critical benchmark. While it may seem far off, the window for making gradual and less painful adjustments is closing. Sooner or later, policymakers will have to engage in a serious conversation about how to secure the program for future generations. This will inevitably involve difficult decisions about revenues and benefits. The debate may be quiet for now, but it will return, and the solutions that are eventually chosen will affect every working and retired American for decades to come. Ultimately, what these changes mean for you depends on where you are in your life and career. For current retirees, the message is one of reassurance. For younger Americans, it is a call to action, to save diligently for your own future. The best advice for everyone is to stay engaged and informed. Understand the basics of how the system works, follow the news about proposed changes, and make your voice heard. Social Security is more than a government program, it is a compact we have with one another. Its future depends on the choices we and our elected leaders make today.